Cordially welcome you all to the Youth Parliament competition. Hope this session would be a very utile one as we set out to deliberate the important matters concerning the nation. We will start with the first item in our list of business, which is oath or affirmation. Members to take oath or affirmation. Secretary General, please.
Srimati Kavita Singh, who stands elected from Sivan constituency of Bihar, will now take the oath or affirmation. Srimati Kavita Singh. Madam, would you like to take oath or affirmation? In which language would you like to take the oath?
I, Srimati Kavita Singh, having been elected a member of the lower house of the Youth Parliament, do swear in the name of God that I will bear the truth, faith, and allegiance to the Constitution of India as by the law established, that I will uphold the sovereignty and integrity of the India, and that I will faithfully discharge the duty upon which I am about to enter. Thank you.
Srimati Annapurna Devi, who stands elected from Kodana constituency of Jharkhand, will now take the oath or affirmation. Srimati Annapurna Devi. Madam, would you like to take oath or affirmation? In which language would you like to take the oath?
अहम् अन्नपूर्णा देव्याः लोकसभायाः सदस्यत्वेन निर्वाचिता निश्चयेन परमेश्वरस्य नामनेष्यपि यतः विधिनाष्टाबिम्बं भारतस्य संविधानं प्रति सत्यां श्रद्धां निष्ठां च धारयसि यतः भारतस्य सम्पूर्णं प्रभुत्वसम्पन्नः अखण्डकामचरक्षेषि तथा यद्भाग्रहित अहबुद्ध्यता अस्मि तस्या कर्तव्यानि अपूर्वता निवर्षयामि. Thank you.
We are delighted to welcome you and we look forward to your contribution to the cause of the nation. Honorable members, as we meet today, it is my sad duty to inform the obituary reference to the passing away of Shri Ram Swarup Sharma, Member of Parliament from Himachal Pradesh. Prime Minister, please.
Sri Ram Swarup Sharma was a dedicated leader. He was always committed to serve to his people. He worked tirelessly for the betterment of our society. But I am saddened and pained by his untimely and unfortunate demise. My thoughts are with his family at this sad hour. Thank you.
The House may stand in silence for a while. Thank you. Secretary General may convey the message of condolences to the bereaved family. Members, let us move on to the next item in our list of business, which is the question hour. Question number 101, Shri Arvind Kumar Sharma.
Madam Speaker, corruption is a word which has spread to every corner of our country. Every single citizen would have come across the word corruption at least once in his lifetime. What has the government taken steps to prevent this corruption? Will the Prime Minister please answer me? And will you give me a list of public servants who are accused of being corrupted?
Prime Minister, please.
The provision, Section 2C, has been made more stringent so that corruption can be stopped in the amendment of Prevention of Corruption Act 2018. Answering your second question, I have laid a paper stating all the corrupt officials in India, and if you look at this list, the top 5 states are under the opposition party's control. What has the opposition party leader done to stop corruption in his own state and in his own party and the states controlled by his party?
Speaker, may I speak up? Mr. Prime Minister, the statement you have said is totally inaccurate. You are accusing a very small proportion of leaders who are public servants as corrupt. Public servants include a lot of people such as IAS, IPS, even manual scavengers are public servants. How can you accuse this small proportion of people?
Madam Speaker, may I? Yes, you may be true. There are a lot of public servants. But when some of these public servants are corrupt, so leaders represent people. And when these leaders are themselves corrupt, you can only expect the people to think that the whole system is corrupt.
Speaker, may I?
Yes, please.
So, according to the Prime Minister, laws have been implemented to eradicate corruption only among the public servants. So, what about the people of our nation? According to the survey taken by your government, 50% of the population of India think that corruption is okay. What are your regards on this, Prime Minister?
Madam Speaker, may I?
Yes, please.
Yes, the people think that corruption is okay. Now, we have to tell the people that the corruption is not okay. So, we are trying to spread awareness among people that corruption is a bad thing. And to eradicate corruption, the main thing is the people who are corrupt are in the power, are in positions of power. When we eradicate these people, the whole society will start to change. So that's why we are taking actions on these people who are corrupt and who are in power.
No more supplementary questions, please. Next question, question number 102, Srimati Goddeti Madhavi.
Honorable Madam Speaker, if we want to reach real peace in this world, we must start educating children. A meaningful quote said by Mahatma Gandhi. Will the Minister of Women and Child Development be able to state whether the government is aware that the rate of school dropouts has increased owing to COVID-19 pandemic? If so, whether the government proposes to launch a scheme to incentivize mothers or recognized guardians for educating their children on the lines of Jagananna Ammavadi scheme implemented by Andhra Pradesh?
Minister of Women and Child Development, please.
Honorable Madam Speaker, the government is aware of it, Madam. As per information furnished by the Department of School Education and Literacy, the dropout rate has been continuously decreasing at all levels of education, including primary, upper primary, and secondary. The Unified District Information System of Education reported similar dropout. Meanwhile, we are working on it by implementing many more new schemes and plans. Answering for your second question, the Jagananna Amma Odi scheme is implemented to enhance quality education, ensure equality, and for the overall development of the child from class 1 to 12, which will lead to a strong foundation at the primary and secondary level of education. The benefits of Amma Odi schemes are: the monetary assistance worth rupees 15,000 will be credited by the state government directly into the beneficiary's account in January every year. The state government have released rupees 6,318 crores to benefit 43 lakh mothers. Thank you.
Any supplementary questions? Yes, please.
Is the money given by the government resting inside the minister's locker, or are there any other schemes implemented by the ministry recently other than Jagananna Amma Odi scheme?
Minister of Women and Child Development, please.
Honorable Speaker, no ma'am, the money is not resting inside the lockers. Instead, the money is distributed by implementing various other schemes like Integrated Child Development Program, One Stop Center, Kishori Shakti Yojana, Women Helpline are the schemes implemented for development of child and women.
No more supplementary questions, please. Next question. Question number 103, Srimati Aprupa Podar.
Honorable Madam Speaker, the India is facing a coal shortage, which the coal stocks are decreasing below the average, and the number of thermal power plants are increasing day by day. Will the Minister of Coal will be pleased to answer this, whether government is aware of the coal shortage that is being experienced by the thermal power plants of India? If so, what are the reasons and details for it? And what are the remedial measures taken by the government to sort out and alleviate this problem?
Minister of Coal, please.
Honorable Madam Speaker, India has been facing a mismatch between the demand and supply of coal. The India is making all efforts to overcome the coal shortage. Nowadays, there is an increase in power demand. It's because of the less power generation by the coal plants. Interruption in the supply of coal due to heavy rains led to the shortage. By 8th of October 2021, the coal stock depleted to 7.2 million tons. And again, surprisingly, by 25th November 2021, the coal stock increased to 16.74 million tons. Isn't it amazing? Yes, it is. Additionally, CIL, Coal India Limited, provided 54 million tons of coal to the government, and also various measures have been taken by the government to overcome the coal shortage. In order to address these issues, an interministerial subgroup has been formed, which includes the representatives of Ministry of Coal, Ministry of Power, Ministry of Railways, SCCL, CIL, and CEA, that is Central Electricity Authority. They regularly meet and discuss various problems and bring out viable solutions. CIL has also offered coal through RCR mode, rail cum road mode. Thank you, Speaker.
Any supplementary questions?
Yes, Madam Speaker. Will the Minister of Coal has amended the concession rules for minerals? Will this be applicable for both public as well as the private sector?
Minister of Coal, please.
Yes, ma'am. The Ministry of Coal has amended Mineral Concession Rules 1960 in a view that it enhances the domestic production of coal and also provides coal or lignite for an additional cost. The Ministry of Coal is taking all efforts and will continue to do so. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, please.
Honorable Madam Speaker, I would like to clarify with Minister of Coal that when did CIL float international tender to overcome coal shortage at power plants?
Minister of Coal, please.
Yes, ma'am, this happened in June and the government has planned to import 76 millions of dry fuel to meet the coal shortage between the period of 2020 to 2023. Thank you.
No more supplementary questions, please. Next question, question number 104, Dr. Hina Gavit.
Honorable Madam Speaker, as we are all aware of AIIMS, All India Institute of Medical Sciences, it is a group of autonomous public medical universities which is under the jurisdiction of Health and Welfare Minister. And AIIMS has been the highest pay scale of doctors in the country, and many aspirants have aspired to go to AIIMS for their higher education. So I would like to question the Health and Welfare Minister that how many AIIMS are under construction in the country, and the date of sanctioning or launching each project, and the time period within which the project are proposed to be completed, and the number of ambulances, ventilators, ECMO missions, and ICU beds are available in the country. Thank you.
Minister of Health and Family Welfare, please.
Honorable Madam Speaker, setting up of 22 new AIIMS has been approved, 6 of which at Bhopal, Raipur, Rishikesh, Jodhpur and Patna are fully functional. As of January 2022, 19 institutes are functioning and 5 more are expected to become functional until 2025. Target date of completion is fixed at 9 places for 2022, 2 institutes for 2023 and 1 each in 2025 and 2026. Details of ECMO machines are not maintained centrally. As you asked, number of ICU beds, ventilators, ambulances as reported by state or UTs in the COVID India portal is at Annexure 2 and 3. Thank you.
The floor is now open for supplementary questions. Yes, please.
Madam Speaker, during the COVID-19 pandemic, many people have suffered due to the less access of good equipments and facilities, especially in government hospitals. So what measures does AIIMS take to resolve this issue?
Minister of Health and Family Welfare, please.
Madam Speaker, AIIMS has introduced several schemes. Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Package, insurance scheme for workers fighting COVID-19. Another scheme, Pradhan Mantri Swasthya Suraksha Yojana, which provides best medical services and quality education for poor people. Amid the COVID-19 cases rise in Delhi, the AIIMS has provided OPD services and surgeries with protocols and restrictions. AIIMS is still working for the betterment of people. Thank you.
Next question, question number 105, Shri Kripal Balaji Tumani.
மதிப்பிற்குரிய அவைத்தலைவருக்கு என் வணக்கம். நாடென்ப நாடா வளர்த்தன நாடு அல்ல, நாட வளம் தரும் நாடு என்னும் திருக்குறள் படி ஒரு நாடு பிற நாடை சார்ந்திருந்தால் அது முழுமைத்தன்மையை அடையாது. அப்படி பிற நாடுகளை நாம் சார்ந்திருக்க கூடாது என்பதற்காகத்தான் மேக் இன் இந்தியா என்னும் திட்டத்தை இந்திய அரசாங்கம் அறிமுகப்படுத்தியது. அந்த திட்டத்தின் கீழ் உள்நாட்டு பாதுகாப்பு உபகரண உற்பத்தி, அதாவது இண்டிஜினஸ் ப்ரொடக்ஷன் ஆஃப் டிஃபென்ஸ் எக்யூப்மெண்ட் செயல்பட்டு வருகிறது. அப்படி மேக் இன் இந்தியா என்னும் திட்டத்தின் கீழ் தங்களது விரிவாக்க பணிகளை தொடர்கிறீர்களா என்ற கேள்விக்கு பாதுகாப்பு அமைச்சகம் பதிலளிக்க வேண்டும்.
Minister of Defense, please.
பேச்சாளர் அவர்களே, மேக் இன் இந்தியா திட்டத்தின் கீழ் இந்திய அரசாங்கம் பல்வேறு முயற்சிகளை எடுத்து வருகிறது. அதில் முதல் முயற்சியாக உத்தரப்பிரதேசம் மற்றும் தமிழகத்தில் நிர்வாக ஆலயங்கள் நிர்வகிக்கப்பட்டு வருகிறது. நன்றி.
Any supplementary questions? Yes, please.
அப்படி நீங்கள் விரிவாக்க பணிகளை மேற்கொண்டால் சுற்றுப்புற சூழலுக்கு கண்டிப்பாக பாதிப்புகள் ஏற்படும். அதை சரி செய்ய ஏதேனும் தடுப்பு முயற்சிகள் எடுக்கப்பட்டுள்ளதா?
Yes, please.
தடுப்பு முயற்சிகள் அனைத்தும் எடுக்கப்பட்டு உள்ளது. ஆலயங்கள் அனைத்தும் வேலைக்கு வந்த பிறகு அனைத்து தடுப்பு முயற்சிகள் பற்றிய செய்திகள் அனைத்தும் வெளியிடப்படும். நன்றி.
உள்நாட்டில் பாதுகாப்பு உபகரண உற்பத்தி அதிகரித்திருந்தால் கண்டிப்பாக இறக்குமதியானது குறைந்திருக்கும். அப்படி இறக்குமதி குறைந்ததன் மூலம் ஏதேனும் நிதியை அரசாங்கம் சேமித்து மதிப்பீடு செய்து வைத்திருக்கிறதா? அது பற்றின தகவல்களை தரவும்.
ஆமாம், உள்நாட்டு உற்பத்தி அதிகரித்தால் அதை சுற்றியுள்ள சேமிப்புகள் அதிகரிக்கும். அதனால் அந்த சேமிப்புகள் அனைத்தையும் இந்திய ஆர்மிக்கு ஒதுக்கீடு செய்துள்ளது இந்திய அரசு. அதனால்தான் எதிர்க்கட்சியினரும் மற்ற பொதுமக்கள் அனைவரும் நிம்மதியாக வீட்டில் இருக்க நாங்கள் வழிவகை செய்கிறோம். நன்றி.
ஆனால் உண்மையில் அப்படி சேமிக்கப்பட்ட நிதி அரசாங்கம் மதிப்பீடு செய்யவில்லை. மதிப்பீடு செய்யாமல் நிதியை அப்படியே அது கொடுத்து விடுகிறது. அப்படி தன் நாட்டில் எந்த பணப்புழக்கத்தை மதிப்பீடு செய்யாமல் இருப்பது அரசாங்கத்திற்கு அது இழிவாகும். இதற்காக உங்கள் அரசாங்கம் வெட்கப்பட வேண்டும். ஏனெனில் உங்களது நிதியை நீங்கள் சேமித்து வைத்ததை மதிப்பீடு செய்யவில்லை. இதற்காக உங்களை எதிர்க்கட்சியினர் வன்மையாக கண்டிக்கிறோம். மேலும் நம் நாட்டில் எத்தனை சதவீதம் நிதி பாதுகாப்புத்துறைக்காக ஒதுக்கப்படுகிறது என்று தெரியுமா? 14% ஆனுவல் பட்ஜெட் நிதி பாதுகாப்பு அமைச்சகத்துக்காக மட்டுமே ஒதுக்கப்படுகிறது. அதில் பெரும் பகுதி நிதி உள்நாட்டு உபகரண உற்பத்திக்காக மட்டுமே செலவு செய்யப்படுகிறது. அப்படி உள்நாட்டு உற்பத்திக்காக இவ்வளவு பெரிய நிதி செலவு செய்யப்பட்டிருந்தால் கண்டிப்பாக உள்நாட்டு உற்பத்தி அதிகரித்திருக்கும். ஆனால் அது நடக்கவில்லை. நம் நாட்டில் பாதி சதவீத உபகரணம் கூட நம் நாட்டிற்குள்ளேயே தயாரிக்கப்படுவதில்லை. நாம் பிற நாடுகளை தான் சார்ந்திருக்கிறோம். இது ஏன்? ரஷ்யா 46% உபகரணங்களை நமக்கு இறக்குமதி செய்கிறது. நாம் ஏன் ரஷ்யாவிடம் கையேந்துகிறோம்? நாம் ஏன் ரஷ்யாவை சார்ந்திருக்கிறோம்? ஏன் நம் நாட்டிற்குள் அந்த உற்பத்தியானது நடைபெறவில்லை? இதற்கான தக்க பதிலை அரசாங்கம் கொடுத்தே தீர வேண்டும். பிறகு வெளிநாட்டிலிருந்து இறக்குமதி செய்யப்படும் அனைத்து விதமான உபகரணங்களின் பட்டியலை கொண்ட ஆவணத்தை தாக்கல் செய்யுமாறு கேட்டுக்கொள்கிறேன்.
இதை குறித்தான அனைத்து ஆவணங்களையும் நான் தாக்கல் செய்துள்ளேன். எதிர்க்கட்சியினர் அதை பற்றி சிறிது கூட விவரிக்காமல் தங்கள் கேள்வியை எழுப்புகின்றனர். கடந்த 5 வருடங்களாக இந்தியாவின் மேக் இன் இந்தியா திட்டத்தின் கீழ் கடந்த 5 வருடங்கள் இந்தியா வரலாறு காணாத வெற்றியை கண்டுள்ளது. அதற்கான பதிலை எதிர்க்கட்சியினர் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் தெரிவிக்குமாறு தாழ்மையுடன் கேட்டுக்கொள்கிறேன்.
No more arguments, please. Next question. Question number 106, Srimati Poonam Mahajan.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Education is the birthright, and everyone has the access to the high-quality education because it helps us to bifurcate right and wrong and lead a better life. But many poor people, especially tribal people, have not been given the right to the education itself. So, I would like to ask this question to the Minister of Tribal Affairs that whether the government have any action plans in order to increase the literacy rate among the tribal people, and what schemes and procedures and programs did your ministry undertake in order to educate the people who are living in the hills and valleys of Manipur?
Minister of State for Tribal Affairs, please.
Honorable Madam Speaker, the government has approved a new scheme called New India Literacy Program. The objective of this scheme is to impart basic literacy to the youth and also involves the non-literates from all states of India and across the union territories too. Besides, various schemes have been implemented for the development of education to tribes. These schemes scatter across the country, including those residing in the hills and valleys of Manipur. Eklavya Model Residential School is the scheme to provide basic quality education for the tribal students from class 6 to 12. National Overseas Scholarship is the scheme under which financial assistance is provided for 20 ST students every year for pursuing high studies in abroad. Thank you.
Any supplementary questions? Yes, please.
Respected Minister of Tribal Affairs, what interventions did your ministry undertake in order to help the government of Manipur to educate the people of their tribal people?
Minister of State for Tribal Affairs, please.
Honorable Madam Speaker, 22 ST boys and girls hostels has been implemented in the hills and valleys of Manipur. In addition, Department of Education, Manipur is running 528 primary schools, 173 upper primary schools and 23 high secondary schools. Thank you.
Next question, Question number 107, Ms. Ramya Haridas.
Honorable Madam Speaker, 2019 മുതൽ 2020 വരെ വർഷത്തേക്കുള്ള ജില്ലകൾക്കായുള്ള പെർഫോമൻസ് ഗ്രേഡിംഗ് സൂചിക്കാൻ കേന്ദ്ര സർക്കാർ തയ്യാറാക്കിയിട്ടുണ്ടോ എങ്കിൽ അതിന്റെ വിശദാംശങ്ങൾ സംസ്ഥാന അടിസ്ഥാനത്തിൽ പറഞ്ഞാലും രാജ്യത്തെ സർക്കാർ ഈയിടെ പ്രത്യേകിച്ച് മഹാരാഷ്ട്രയിലും ഒഡീഷയിലും വിദ്യാഭ്യാസത്തിന്റെ നടപടികൾ മെച്ചപ്പെടുത്തുവാൻ കേന്ദ്ര സർക്കാർ സ്വീകരിച്ച നടപടികൾ എന്തെല്ലാം?
Minister of Education, please.
Honorable Madam Speaker, to answer the first question, my answer will be an yes, ma'am. The Department of School Education and Literacy, the Ministry of Education, has prepared an 83 indicator-based performance grading index for districts, the PGID, for the first time ever to measure the key driving performance and critical areas of school education at district level. To answer the second question, centers help states and union territories under the centrally sponsored scheme of Samagra Shiksha, which is an overarching scheme of school education covering all levels from pre-primary to senior secondary. Financial assistance is provided to states and union territories for various activities to improve enrollment in government schools, which include various activities like strengthening opening of new schools up to senior secondary level, upgrading and running of Kasturba Gandhi Balika Vidyalayas up to class 12, setting up of residential schools and hostels, namely Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose Avashya Vidyalayas, and transport allowances are given for students, and there is provisions of vocational education and ICT facilities in schools. There are various enrollment drives taken, and financial assistance is also provided to students and children who study in government schools for their aids and appliances, also for the specially needed children. And Center also helps states and union territories under the PM Poshan scheme, which is an ongoing centrally sponsored scheme and flagship program of central government. And the scheme covers up to 11.80 crore children who study from Bal Vatika to elementary classes to in government and government aided schools to make them meet their nutrition needs and to ensure their immunity. The financial assistance provided to states and union territories for the years 2022 and 23 are given in the next year.
Any supplementary questions?
No, Speaker.
Next question. Question number 108, Shrimati Keshari Devi Patel.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Let me begin with a wise-old Tamil saying which states, Thirai kadalodiyum thiraviyam thedu. This indicates from the very beginning of Indian culture, there had been n number of Indian citizens who go abroad in order to earn a decent living and support their families. They are the ones who sacrifice their today's happiness in order to have a better tomorrow. But these common laymen are not aware about the danger that awaits them in these abroad countries. Unfortunately, they are conned by fraudulent agents and companies who promise them lucrative jobs but push them into unethical and crude jobs, which ultimately turns them into bonded labor or an undignified worker. And under these circumstances, they either get killed by the employer or commit suicide themselves. Honorable Speaker, it is really painstaking to hear about lots of news around the world which states about the mysterious death of blue-collar workers, so-called the ECR workers from India. So in a nutshell, I would like to ask the government to answer about what are the schemes and procedures taken by them in order to solve the current issues.
Minister of External Affairs, please.
Honorable Madam Speaker, I am glad that at least now the opposition party come up to know about the external affairs. So, there are a lot of schemes and policies for the ECR workers who go to the ECR countries for overseas employments. Our Prime Minister also ensures that there is a good relationship between India and other countries to ensure the safety of the Indian workers who work in their workplaces. And also, if a person is dead abroad, that a worker from India is dead in the workplaces of other countries, the missions and posts of our country in the particular countries ensures that the worker gets his justice in that country. It also follows up the cases, and if any mysterious death of the workers, they also ensure that they get justice in the particular countries. And also there are various programs to give financial and physical support for the family of the deceased worker who went abroad for making their family in a better financial position. Thank you.
Honorable Madam Speaker, I would like to ask this question to our Honorable Prime Minister. Regarding the recent issue that affects the Indians living in Canada, India has stated for the Canadian Indians to be safe. But the ministry have taken any action regarding their safety?
Madam Speaker, may I?
Yes, please.
Yes. We have taken all safety measures for our Indians abroad. Also, if you have listened to our external minister, you would have heard that the security of all Indians abroad is taken care by both the local government, police and our Indian mission there. So we require the opposition to please listen to what we are saying.
Yes, please.
Prime Minister, we are speaking about the Canada, not in general talk. So she particularly mentioned about the Canadian issue, not in general of asking for the security for the people.
It is the same procedure all over the world. Their safeties will be ensured by the local government and the Indian mission there.
Madam. Yes, please.
So, now, we are pleased that there are so much reforms that is available for the people who are dead. They mean they have pre-postmortems and all those stuff. But what about the people who are alive? That is, we need to curb this issue from the very beginning. So what are the steps and mechanisms taken by the government to avoid further and problems such and in the coming future?
Madam Speaker.
Yes, please.
So, there are a lot of campaigns and awareness program started to ensure the people about the illegal agencies that work to send people abroad for illegal work. So there is a program called Surakshit Javo, Parikshit Javo, started by the Ministry of External Affairs about the proper procedure for an employee to go overseas. And also there is a program that if an abroad country offers job for Indian workers, they have to deposit a particular amount in the banks, and until the Indian worker who went abroad comes home safely, the money will be in the hands of the Indian government. So once the Indian worker comes safe home, the money will be returned to the country and the organization which offered job to the particular employee. And also there are a lot of awareness program from the schooling level to ensure about the illegal agencies that operate to take people abroad. Thank you.
May I?
Yes, please.
So, these are wonderful mere statements. I have a proper intelligence report with me which states that human trafficking is happening because of unregistered overseas recruitment agency, and I have some proofs for that. What is your government giving reply for this? They say that most of the overseas recruitment agencies send job aspirants with tourist visa and promises them employment within 3 months, but they are unregistered. This will in turn lead the gullible youth, our next generation, to indulge in fraudulent activities and cyber crimes. What do you have to say about this?
Yes, please.
What is the authenticity of a newspaper? You bring a bit of paper and you say that it is a news, and what is the precise measures and what is the accuracy of it?
May I?
Yes, please.
And also there are thousands of illegal agencies which have been shut in the past 5 years by our government. So you cannot answer this question. we are not saying, we are saying that we have shut a lot of agencies which take Indian workers abroad illegally through tourist visas.
To add on, it's just a pity. For answering your question, it is not a mere newspaper report. It is a government authorized intelligence report which is being stated in this newspaper. And moreover, your Prime Minister, Honorable Prime Minister, have been going to so many of the countries and being in flight mode for most of the time. What is the use? And India, being the fifth largest economy in the world, is full of opportunities. What is the Ministry of Employment doing for this? There are so much employment opportunities available. If the right efforts are put in the right direction, then of course it will yield better results. And whatever said and done, if people go abroad, they are treated as third-rated workers. But if they stay in India, they can live a dignified life. I am speaking about the common layman. Please understand.
Yes, please.
எங்களோட பிரைம் மினிஸ்டர் ஃப்ளைட் மூடில் இருக்காருன்னா எக்ஸ் பிரைம் மினிஸ்டர் சைலண்ட் மூடில் இருந்தார். அதுக்கான ஆன்சர்.
May I, Honorable Speaker? May I?
Yes, please.
So as our opposition party said that what we have did about the third grade workers. So there are many contracts signed between countries about the third grade workers. So we ensure that each and every citizen of India is equal for us. We ensure each and every person's security in the abroad countries. That is why there is an external affairs ministry, and it is our duty to ensure each and every member's safety over there.
I'd like to add a point, Madam Speaker.
Yes.
Yes, you had said that I'm just traveling around all over the world. I'm traveling to improve the relations between all the countries, so for the safety of the Indian citizen and the layman.
May I speak up?
Yes, please.
First of all, to reply to you, Defense Minister, only empty vessels make loud noise. And second, to prove that what you're doing is real, I have a request for a commission to be set up to investigate on this.
It shall be considered. Yes, please. No more supplementary questions and no more arguments. Next question, question number 109, Srimati Menaka Sanjay Gandhi.
Honorable Madam Speaker, we all know how the bonded labor system has created deep and everlasting wounds in every laborers who had been demanded to work as laborers even without payments or salaries in means of repaying their loans. The Minister of Labour and Employment must state whether the government has been tracking the incidences of bonded labor cases in the country, whether there has been an increase in the number of cases, and I need the state-wise breakup of every cases from 2015 to 21, the total number of people who had been rehabilitated during a set period, and the amount spent in rehabilitation from 2015 to 21 on the bonded labours.
Minister of Labour and Employment, please.
Honorable Madam Speaker, on 25th October 1976, the bonded labor system was abolished by law throughout the country. When the existence of bonded labor is detected, the persons are identified for rehabilitation. In order to assist the government in this task, a central sector scheme has been organized. Yes, there has been an increase in the incidences of bonded labor due to COVID-19. But are you aware the state and the union territory government have been directed to prepare a state action plan for preventing and rehabilitating the victims of bonded labor? A statistical statement has been laid on the table regarding the state-wise breakup of identified cases and the total number of bonded laborers rehabilitated from the year 2015 to 2021. As you may not know, nearly 665 lakhs have been spent for the rehabilitation of bonded labor, which is very much helpful for the people. Thank you.
Three questions.
Yes, Madam Speaker. Minister of Labour and Employment, what is the mechanism that the government has in place to combat this issue? And here, mechanism not just involves the measures which have been taken by the government, but the measures which have really benefited the poor labourers. Thank you.
Minister of Labour and Employment, please.
Honorable Madam Speaker, regular sensitization programs and coordination with field level functionaries such as district magistrate are held under the sponsorship of National Human Rights Commission and State Human Rights Commission. Thank you.
How can you state that your law has abolished the...
Madam, please be seated.
But, Honorable Speaker,
you have to ask me in prior, whatever it is. Please be seated. You will be given chance later. I shall consider it later. Please be seated.
Yes, ma'am.
Next question. Question number 110. Srimati Poonam Mahajan.
Thank you. Honorable Speaker, we are all aware of Atal Tinkering Labs or ATLs, which are helping high school students to enhance their creative and innovative thinking to achieve their goal and break the challenges at this point of time. So I would like to know few informations from the Minister of Planning, that is number of ATLs that have been established across the country and particularly in Rajasthan, and amount of funds that have been dispersed to all ATLs that are in Rajasthan, and the number of funds that have been allocated for the upcoming 3 years, and how much ATLs have been established in the March 2020 era, and what specialized auditory mechanism did your ministry undertake in order to review the function of ATLs during COVID-19 pandemic? If yes, the details. If not, I want the reason for it.
Minister of Planning, please.
Honorable Madam Speaker, as of January 2022, the total number of schools across the country is 9,606, out of which 503 are in the state of Rajasthan. The details of the school, state-wise, year-wise, and district-wise, is placed under Annexure A, and the details of 503 schools of Rajasthan, state-wise, district-wise, year-wise, both private and government, is placed under Annexure B. Each school is sanctioned a grant aid of rupees 20 lakh over a period of 5 years as establishment and operational cost. A paper is already laid on the table for the information. ATL is already aimed at AIM, Atal Innovation Mission. So there is no specific fund allocated by the government for ATL. The number of schools that have been mandated to set up by Atal Innovation Mission across the country is 10,000, out of which 9,606 is already funded and the remaining are undergoing the complaints process, which will be soon funded. So there is no specialized auditory system allocated by the government to review the functioning of Atal Tinkering Labs, but AIM, Atal Innovation Mission, takes the initiative to review the functioning of Atal Tinkering Labs through online. Thank you, Speaker.
Yes, please.
Honorable Madam Speaker, I would like to ask this question to the Minister of Planning. Whether ATLs that have been established so far were successful at achieving its aim, and whether ATLs have been made mandate in terms of number of ATLs that have been established so far, how many students are studying STEM subjects under this program, and what were the results produced?
Minister of Planning, please.
Hanji Zarur. I have already laid a paper on the table. Please refer it.
No more supplementary questions, please. Next question. Question number 111, Shri Deepak Baij.
Yes, Honorable Speaker. Where women are compared on par with gods in India, I regret to inform the sad reality of our nation that crime rate against women in India is increasing in an upward spiral, and acid attacks has become a burning issue. So I would like to ask the Minister of Home Affairs that how is acids available at ease to the public, especially teenagers, when there is already regulations existing on its sale. So does this mean that the rules already laid are not strict enough? And what has the government done to rehabilitate such acid attack victims? The life of those victims change permanently. And what has the government done to punish those sinners?
Ministry of Home Affairs, please.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The government is working blood and sweat to build a better nation. As Shri Deepak Bej has inquired about the acid attacks happening against the women in the country, the imposition of the policy, the Poisons Act of 1919 has been implemented to each and every state and union territories in the country to regulate the sale of acids and corrosive chemicals so that these are not used in crimes. Also, we have launched the judiciary to be so stringent that the ones who attempt acid attacks will be severely punished if convicted. Also, the ministry is so concerned about the women in the country and the people of the country. So we have launched so many schemes and so many things that would rehabilitate the women in the country. Thank you.
May I, Speaker?
Yes, please.
Honorable Speaker, myself along with some other fellow MPs have visited these acid attack victims personally in the past few months, and we have surveyed and taken reports of those inquiries. And according to it, the results were shocking because many of the schemes implemented by the ministry have not even known by those victims until they have been attacked. And also, according to the rules laid down by the ministry, no government or private hospital can deny medication to the acid attack victims. But there are evidences which support that, there are evidences which tell that the victims were denied of medication. So I would like to ask the Prime Minister, that is the government spending money, especially their blood and sweat, in implementing schemes to the walls of their respective cabinets or to the welfare of the people of our nation?
Madam Speaker, may I?
Yes, please.
And how does the government ensure that the schemes implemented and the acts launched reach the entire population of the country? The said schemes launched, how is it helpful if it does not even reach the public?
Madam Speaker, may I?
Yes, please.
You said about hospitals denying treating acid attack victims. For those hospitals who have been denied, if they are reported, their hospital will be sealed and shut down for denying their human rights. This is basic right, they should have this. So if a hospital denies it, they will be sealed shut. And your second question about your second question about applying the schemes and giving the schemes to the people. There are public enforcers who put all these schemes into action. They take care of imposing all the schemes that are passed in the lower house and the upper house.
May I,
yes,
Speaker?
Please.
I would like to add up some points to the Prime Minister's speech, that one-time grant of rupees 200 crore has been given to each and every state and union territories. What has the concerned MP done to his or his constituency or state in this 200 crores?
Are there any people who really got benefited because of your compensation and justice?
No. Madam, please be seated.
Sorry, madam, I want to confirm this with the minister, please.
No, madam.
So could you say that the acid attack survivors can face the consequences of physical consequences,
Madam,
psychological, social and economical consequences just by having a money in our pocket?
से तो हम नहीं मान सकता है, ma'am. Please be seated. You will be given chance. Please be seated. This is not acceptable.
May I answer to the question?
No more arguments, please.
Madam Speaker, why is it that you keep suppressing our side and our questions?
Of course not. Of course not. The opposition did not ask any prior permission and had raised without any permission. And that is exactly why I denied it.
Madam, may I?
Yes, please.
எனக்கு தெரிஞ்சு அப்போசிஷன் பார்ட்டிக்கு கொடுத்த லெக்சரர்ஸ் படிக்க தான் டைம் இல்லைன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். அவங்க கேட்ட எல்லா கொஸ்டின்ஸுக்கும் எங்களோட பேப்பர்லேயே ஆன்சர் இருக்குது. அவங்களுக்கு படிக்க டைம் இல்லாதனால இன்வேலிட் கொஸ்டின்ஸ் கேட்டுட்டு எங்களுக்கு இன்வேலிட் ஆன்சர்ஸ் இல்லைன்னு சொல்கிறாங்க.
Yes, please.
I've already asked some questions to the Member of Parliament and he hasn't answered it. And he's asking some other questions. And this is not the way he acts, no? So first you have to answer my question and then I can answer your question. Is it not the rule?
Okay. No more arguments. No more. Yes, please.
பேப்பரில் பதில் இருக்கிறது என்றால் நாங்கள் பேப்பரையே எங்களுக்கு ரெப்ரசன்டேட்டிவாக தேர்ந்தெடுப்போமே, அதற்கு பதில் சொல்லத்தானே நீங்கள் இருக்கிறீர்கள்.
Yes.
அந்த பேப்பர்ல இருக்கிற பதில வேற யாரும் எழுதலையே, நாங்க தானே எழுதியிருக்கோம். அபையின் டைமை வேஸ்ட் பண்றதுக்குன்னே இதெல்லாம் பண்றீங்கன்னு நினைக்கிறேன்.
No more arguments. Next question. Question number 112. Shri Arvind Kumar Sharma.
Madam Speaker, today's world demands for skill, not academic excellence. Academic excellence is just an aid for skill. Children, when they're young, are able to grasp things easily. So what steps has the government taken to integrate skill development with academics? Will the Minister of Skill Development answer this? And are you aware that students from rural areas are competing on par with students from Tier 1 and Tier 2 cities? What steps have you taken to nurture these set of students?
Ministry of Skill Development, please.
Honorable Madam Speaker, yes sir, considering the importance of skill development, the Department of Literacy and Education has implemented a centrally sponsored scheme that is Samagra Shiksha, and this scheme mainly aims at involving the vocational education with main education, which improves the employability skills and entrepreneurial skills of the students, and it